Back again, just to give you another rundown on the MotorGuide, and we've had a few runs out in it now. I didn't take a video on when we were out in the water the last time, but I just want to talk about the consumption, the power usage. With the last trip out we went out overnight, and we fished all one day. The motor would have been running at least 8 hours that day, and at times working quite hard. And we run it all day long. Went all day, at least 8 hours. We were out from about 7:30. We got out on the water, right out to our first fishing spot, and we didn't come in till after dark, which was after 6 at night. And the thing was, the MotorGuide was going most of the day. Would have been at least 8 hours of constant use that day. And the next day we went out about 6:30. We were out at our spot about 7 o'clock again, and we fished through till about 11:30, something like that. And it was going almost the whole time, and it was really quite a choppy day. The second day, the motor was even coming out of the water from time to time with the chop, and it never got to the yellow. It has a light on it. There's you might be able to see them there. We're just trying to get to them. A bit hard to see, but there's there they are. The end light, the far one, is the battery light, and it tells you when it gives you a guide. It's green when the battery's down, until the battery gets down to 40%, I think it is, if I remember rightly, and then it goes yellow until the battery gets to 20%, and then it goes red. And we haven't seen the yellow yet, so yeah, we're not in those 12. It was at least 12 hours, and it was going. At times we were yeah, it was working quite hard. I mentioned at the start, when we first one of the first videos, I mentioned that it had a whine in the motor, in this motor, in the bottom motor. Had a whine when we were out in the water. That seems to have lessened, I guess, as the motor's wearing in, or the brushes or whatever they've got in there, but it's lessened. It could be that we've got the motor with rubbers on both sides. We mounted it, I don't know whether that's the way, but we mounted it with the rubbers there, those rubbers. And then underneath we put little rubbers on the washers. If I can find them. There. You can see we got rubber on that washer there. There's another, that one. So we've got rubbers on those washers, on the bolts that hold it down. And and we also drilled out those holes. They're 6mm bolts, but we drilled out the holes to 8mm, and just hoping, with the idea was that that there was no bolt actually touching the side of the boat, and so I don't know whether that had any effect on it, but you can see the plastic. That's a plastic board thing there. It's it doesn't. The noise level has dropped right down now. You can hardly hear it. Whether it's just that we're accustomed to it, but we felt it wasn't. It was quieter now as it's worn in, and you can hardly hear it. Only when it's really working hard you hear it a bit. So that was just about our consumption, the battery usage. It goes all day. This is a 4.15 CJ that we've got it on. 4.15 Escape CJ. Can't read the sign up there, but anyway, and it's quite heavy little boat now with a 40 horsepower Suzuki on it, side console, and yeah, everything. The battery, we've got the battery over on that side, on the other far side there under that panel. The battery's mounted in a well in there, and fuel tank. We've just got a 25 litre fuel tank which is under the door there, under the hatch there. But yeah, it's quite I guess a heavier little boat. And it holds it on the spot. We don't have any trouble with it moving off our spot. It's really sits nice on the spot, and it's ideal for this boat. So yeah, I hope that's helpful to somebody. Just clear. We looked around and trying to find some guide on how much battery, how long the battery would last, and there was nothing. So that just so that people can know that the battery use, it's amazing how little the thing uses for a day's fishing. And having it connected, we have it connected to the charger to the motor to charge the battery. So that does charge it a bit. It wouldn't charge it enough to keep it charged, but it does help. When we came home, we put the battery charger on it, and it was charging 6 amps after the day and a half we had out there. It's only a little trickle charge, a 6 amp maximum, so it was up on charging full amount. So the battery was drawn down a bit, but we camped out overnight on Fraser Island, and we didn't have to. That was what we were wondering, whether we'd make the 2 days, and yeah, we were really pleased with the performance. So that's about it.